So, what's up, guys? We are here today at Sports Analytica with a very interesting session here. We have with us two guests. We have Liverpool's Drai and then Chelsea's Charlie K. So today we are talking about the two clubs. Those are the focal points, and we want to look at first of all their reviews, as in what they thought their season went like, and if they could improve as well. We could look at that. So we'll start with Liverpool because you won the league title. Let's just start with you guys. So, how do you think your season was? How did it shape up for you, and do you think you were satisfied with it or not?
Yeah, I think it's very unfair to start with me because I expect a guard of honor from Chelsea, and that should have been kind of respect to me. But then, responding to your question, Liverpool played very well. We did very well. I think the goal was to win the league, which we did.
Sure.
So nothing else mattered. I think what is left for us to do is just to build on and try to defend the league. That's all.
Okay. So Charlie Key, about Chelsea.
Yes.
What's up?
Well, first of all, let me say congratulations to Liverpool with a VAR in the middle for winning the league. I mean that's just by the way, but I think they've deserved it. As my manager has kept saying, they've played really, really good football this season. It's unfortunate that towards the end of the season they slumped a little bit and couldn't reach the 100-goal mark. We would have all been happy for them, but kudos to Klopp and his team. They've still done very well. And on the Chelsea side of things, I think Frank has done very, very well too, because nobody gave him a dog's chance with the peculiar conditions we had. Losing Hazard and then the transfer ban and having to work with a very young crop of players. But he's held his own, and he showed that under immense pressure he can still deliver. And so now we've gotten a good... I don't want to jump to that part, but next season is looking good, and I'm happy with how the season has turned. Now we're playing Champions League, so can't complain. Yeah.
This quick response to Charles' claims. I don't know why Charles will make a VAR claim for Liverpool when all the stats and every evidence shows that VAR actually was favoring Manchester United. And I don't even expect him to even say that they were expecting 100 points from Liverpool or 100 points from Liverpool. If you had achieved that feat, he would have expected more. So I actually don't see that point of view in this conversation. I think I'll take the congratulations from him and say that his team did well, fairly well. I hope to see them perform well next season.
All right. So first of all, I would like to look at Liverpool. For last season, you guys only considered 22 goals. Right. This season, it jumped plus 11 to 33.
Yeah.
And we know of this whole Virgil van Dijk's Superman thing, and what's wrong for you guys this season?
I think
you won alright, but you're falling short in some areas. So what do you think you can improve on next season?
I think to be fair with this conversation, we must realize that our keeper, our number one, missed a couple of games. And all his presence contributes to the defensive stability. Notwithstanding, I admit that Van Dijk did some mistakes which shouldn't have happened for a person like him and for somebody with such high reputations.
Yeah.
But then it's football, it happens. The best defense, I think, Ramos, Varane pair suffered goals. The best defense, Lenglet, Umtiti pair, or even Lenglet and Piqué pair suffer this thing. Even Jerome Boateng and those guys suffer and goals. But then I think it's cause for concern that we have to come back to who we are in conceding less goals.
All right. So for Chelsea too, we know of your defensive issues, like right from day one. You conceded 4 goals in the first game as well, and then throughout the season we've seen some sloppy play at the back as well. So moving forward for you guys, what do you think are the main concerns, and also where do you think you can improve upon to get a good side that can challenge for the title next season and maybe the other seasons ahead?
Okay. So I'm actually surprised that he was talking about good defenses and then he didn't mention probably the best defense in club history. John Terry and Carvalho. How could you not? I found it a little bit odd, that he didn't mention.
I'm very sorry.
But that's okay.
But I didn't want to give him that kind of credit for him to be excited about it. I'm really, really sorry.
Okay, but that's fine. This season Chelsea has had a couple of defensive issues. I think because this group of players didn't work with the manager the previous season, he didn't have enough time to figure out which pair he wanted. So he found that he was shuffling the team a lot, making a lot of different pairings for every game. But towards the end, it got a little bit more stable. I think that the Kezuma Rudiger partnership, it's not so bad, and it's worked. In my opinion, I think it's worked. If we started the season with it, I feel like we would have been in a better position. But there's still a lot of improvement that we can make, and as you can hear in the news, we're in the market for another centre back. So I think that definitely is an area that will improve, and then hopefully next season we'll concede a lot less goals. Now there's no David Luiz, so we don't have those 5 penalties a season we are conceding. And that's not to say he's not a good defender. I actually love. He's one of my favorite players to ever play for Chelsea. But I mean, you look at his stats and then like he just concedes those penalties and those errors. But I love David anyway. So yeah.
That's really unfair for David Luiz, who has actually helped Chelsea achieve a lot. It's really, really unfair for to David Luiz.
Alright, so we want to talk about probably some future moves that this has come. So I'll start with Chelsea because you have some confirmed news on that side.
Yeah.
So we are talking about a confirmed deal for Hakim Ziyech. We are talking about a confirmed deal for Timo Werner.
Yeah.
And even there are some potential moves that are trying to be completed as well, like Kai Havertz as well. So looking at all these moves, what do you think, or how do you think your team will set out next season? And people actually thought you guys to actually win the championship next season because of the time that you have been winning. So what do you think will be the most ideal situation for Chelsea in the market? And how you can more or less carry that one into your team and then set up a unit that can challenge for a trophy next season?
Well, I'm particularly excited with the signings that we've made. I mean, the quality of the signings, they speak for themselves. You don't have to say much about Timo Werner if you follow any of European football. You don't have to say much about Hakim Ziyech. I mean, these are guys who have proven that even in the little leagues, I mean the smaller leagues that they played in, they can still be like some of the most outstanding players. I mean, Werner has goals in him, and this season Chelsea, I think, is third in creating chances. So I think that unless he's going injured, there'll be so many opportunities for him to score, and he's clinical. So I have no doubts that he's going to do well. Sure. Hakim Ziyech, I really can't wait to see him whipping those beautiful crosses from the wing, and those corners and everything, because he's pinpoint.
Of course,
and the other players can also learn from him. That's something I'm really looking forward to. I think in our team right now, Callum Hudson is a very good crosser. He's so underrated for that, but I think he's really good. Reece James is another really good one. I think that those two can really learn off of him when it comes to that. Now, we're also hearing some news about Kai Havertz. I don't know. I know that he's definitely going to be an improvement in the team, but I feel that Chelsea will still do fine without Kai Havertz. That's just my opinion, because I'm looking at a midfield with the likes of Kovacic, Kante, there's Miles, there's Jojo. I mean, they play more defensive roles. And then there's Loftus-Cheek. If he comes on, I think Lampard will be spoiled for choice when it comes to midfield players. He's a really, really good prospect. He has goals in him. He's not afraid to shoot. He gets those assists. He will take you on. He's just really beautiful to watch. So I'm excited if he comes, but I don't think we should break the bank for him and put him under pressure. You know how those things usually work. Yeah. As far as players leaving, I expect Willian to leave. Because of his age. If we don't sell him now, we'll probably not get anything from him when he leaves again. I expect Jorginho to leave also, because I feel that with the way the team has been set up now, he doesn't really fit into it well. And you find that every time we are under pressure and he holds the ball, playing against a midfield with strong players, he's not able to stay on it for long, and then he gets sort of shoved off the ball, like bullied around. And now that Kante, before he got injured, he was playing in his more natural position. I don't see how Jojo is fitting in the team anymore, unless he's going to go and play a more advanced position. Sure. I think that he's too good of a player to spend like half the season on the bench or be restricted to playing cup games or whatever. Even with Gilmore, same thing. I think he can go on loan, go and learn something, get better, and come back. Like how Mason Mount's done. So yeah, it's looking really exciting for next season. I can't wait to. I've seen them train, and it even looks good on the eye already. I can't wait to see them on the pitch. And you know that if we do win against Arsenal and we have to play Liverpool for the Shield, I'm really excited for that game. I can't wait. I want to see that.
Yeah, so you guys will be facing each other.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that encounter as well.
Yeah, so for you guys in Liverpool, what's up with you guys? Because Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I think it was only yesterday or a day or two where I heard something about Sancho preferring a move to Liverpool compared to United. And even Klopp said earlier in the season that he wasn't really expecting big moves from the team. So how are you guys assessing now? Because yes, we have probably the best players in the team, and it's just a matter of time before eventually they will work out. I mean, most of them are 27, 28. Most of your top lads. So looking at it, projecting everything, you would say 2-3 years and then they'll be down for. So
Yeah.
for Liverpool, do you think there will be any moves in this window?
Okay, before I respond to the Liverpool move and Liverpool transfer, let me quickly touch on his submission. Chelsea have actually bought great players, no doubt. The numbers speak for them, the stats speak in their favour. But then I think it will be very unwise to be so optimistic and raise the expectations so high.
For sure.
Because we saw a certain Morata, we saw a certain Fernando Torres, we saw a certain mind you who brought in Zlatan and Lukaku thinking they've met every criteria to win the league back to back, but then we also what happened. But then trust me, Chelsea is going to be a force to reckon with next season. They will give every team at least, you see the number of people that just good. But then now responding to Chelsea's transfer issues, Liverpool transfer issues. I think for now, like Klopp said, we won't be making any big transfer because I think the team doesn't need any extra man or extra men. I think what the team needs in Liverpool right now is a better psychology and a better mental framework, sort of. We need to actually psych the players to know how to manage their confidence, pride and arrogance. If Liverpool fail next season, to come from that side. If injuries don't come in, Liverpool's failure will be from arrogance and from overconfidence, right? So, but then without notwithstanding, let me mention some few players from the academy who have actually come into the senior team and have proven very efficient. Nico Williams, we have Curtis Jones, we have Ryan Brewster who is doing so well at Swansea, and we have some players who are also on loan, Harry Wilson and then Marco Gurich, who are also very good, but then they are actually on sale.
Because Greek for one has been there like since 2016-17.
Yeah.
So he has been on loan spells.
Yes.
He doesn't seem to fit into the team.
Yeah, it tells you how difficult it is to break into the top 11 at Liverpool. It's not easy at Chelsea. That is why they can bring in 3 top players who can just come and sweep all the players existing in the team. So now, Minamino we brought in is even struggling to secure a spot for himself. So it tells you how competitive it is to break into Liverpool first squad. Like I said, the work that Liverpool needs to do is an arrogance management, a confidence management, and then yes, I think that's it. So we have talking of backups, or talking of teams, players that should be as reserve to replace the first team. I think in terms of defense, we have Nico Williams who can replace Trent. We have Seb van der Berg who can actually come in for Gomez. We have Matip too on reserve, but then we have Nat Phillips too, who is also on loan spell, who can also come and fill in that spot. But then I saw some rumors that we want to bring in a season player from Real Betis, 28 years, I've forgotten the name. And my concern is with the left back. Leroy wants to leave the club and get a first team spot. That is where my concern is. Into the midfield, we have an informed Keita who is coming up. So I'm very surprised that Charles, when he said that Liverpool finished on a poor note, when we can all attest to the fact that Keita was picking from, Fabinho was also picking from, Anderson was performing very well. And we have Curtis Jones who can fit into the Lallana role. Chamberlain, fantastic. Front 3 is my problem. Front 3 is my problem. Goals have been falling. We've lost that Salah's clinical ability. Mane is not so much of a goal scorer, so I won't bash him for that. Firmino isn't so much of a goal scorer, I won't bash him for that. But Salah is someone we look to give us the goals. And we see that averagely he's been falling. This season I expect him to have hit 25 at least, because look at the glorious opportunities he missed in terms of the games. It tells you how bad he's becoming, and it's cause for concern. And I think the young chap Javi Elliott can fit into his shoes, not to score, but then to supply balls, to maybe change the dynamics for maybe a certain Firmino to start scoring or a certain Mane to start scoring, right? And Curtis Jones can fit into Mane's position in the front three. Likewise, Minamino can also fit into Firmino's position in the front three. Origi is on the bench, and Graham Brewster can also come and give some support. So I don't see any people. Alcantara is a rumor. Yeah. I'll be very glad to see Alcantara in Liverpool squad. A player that can take 4 players out of the game with just one single pass, I think will give to Brian, will give the likes of the overhyped Bruno something to run for.
That's what I want to hear from you on that. So we will now want to talk about for Liverpool. You know what happened in your Champions League adventure? It wasn't too fortunate for you guys.
I know that's good.
Some errors from Adrian and the like. So
I know that's good.
The journey has ended for you guys. So I want to move to Chelsea on this. And you guys too, it's like, yeah, we know what has happened. First leg, it was 3-0. Everything was flat for you guys in that game. And going to Germany at the Allianz Arena for the return game, what do you think you can at least do to compensate for the whole situation at the moment?
I don't think you have response. You have response to that.
I didn't want to respond to his previous submission, but since he's interrupting me, let me go to. I mean, he's talking about Naby Keita picking form towards the end of the season. Why? Because he scored a goal against
Chelsea.
Kepa Arrizabalaga. Are you joking? Are you joking? I mean, if you followed the season, you realize that for all the teams that have players that are struggling in their front, every time they were going to play against Chelsea, whoever that one player or 2 players were, they would score. For example, Crystal Palace, you take Benteke. We played Sheffield, and you saw what happened when we played Sheffield, right? It is something that has happened throughout the entire season. Kepa has the worst save statistics for any keeper in like the top 5 leagues. Maybe like bottom 3. And Naby Keita scores against him, and for that reason, Naby Keita is picking form. Are you joking? And then he goes on and says that Curtis Jones can fit into Sadio Mane's position. What blasphemous talk is that? No, hold on, don't interrupt. Yes, don't interrupt. He goes on and also says that he mentions some other guy who can fit into Salah's position. Like, if Klopp was listening to you, I'm sure he'd be like, nah, this guy. Let's check what he's on because. Hold on. Don't interrupt. Let me just finish. I think you warning Liverpool players to not be arrogant and sitting and being arrogant is like it's very, very. I don't even know what word to characterize it, but I think you should be careful yourself because it is the Premier League. You don't go claiming that Curtis Jones can come in and then fit into the shoes of Sadio Mane just like that. I mean, he hasn't played. How many seasons has he been playing in the Premier League? He doesn't have what it takes. Not yet. If he does, well, to be a surprise. And then he also goes on and says things in the line along the lines of it is Chelsea, so you can just buy players who come in and then you just sweep out everybody. Yeah, exactly. Hakim Ziyech has played better football at Ajax than Mo Salah has played in his entire career before he moved to Liverpool. Timo Werner has played better football in his career than Firmino played before he moved to Liverpool. They are only now moving to the clubs that will afford them the opportunity to really shine like superstars. So don't be arrogant yourself and think that because you are comparing a player who's already playing to Liverpool to players that are playing for Leipzig and then and Ajax, who are basically like farm clubs, every season they just get picked off and their best players leave. So they don't even have that consistency. So you should be careful yourself. Now, let me just go to our Champions League match, okay, and say that I don't expect Chelsea to qualify. Being realistic, I don't expect Chelsea to qualify.
That's your honesty. That's very honest.
I think that the game will be a better game because I feel like Chelsea has improved from where we were then. And I don't expect Kepa to be in the post for any of the games from now to like whenever the season is done completely. Not because he's not good, but because of recent form and certain psychological issues that it seems may have gone on. So I don't expect him to be starting. If he's not, the team has looked better when he's not playing. So we may win that Bayern game. Maybe they'll score again, and that's what will make us not qualify again. Seeing a clean sheet against Bayern with Serge Gnabry and Lewandowski, like I don't see it happening. But I'm really optimistic. I think it will be a good game. I expect Chelsea to win. I don't expect us to qualify. If we do qualify, it'll be like 2012 all over again. Well, but let's see how it goes. I'm excited about it. So yeah.
Your submission, then we
I think a quick response to his response.
Sharp.
Very quick. I think he took my submission out of context. I was telling you how difficult it is to break into the Liverpool first 11, right? But then if we put my submission in context in terms of player rotation and playing in other cup championships, like other cup competitions, the EFL, the FA Cup, in that manner or in that state,
Right.
you can have Curtis Jones fit into Mane's position to
Still
play.
Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott.
Curtis Jones to play to fit in Mane's position to play as a front three, right? That's what I was trying to see. I think he didn't understand that so well. And then he said that Ziyech has played so much football, quality football at Ajax than Salah in his entire career. I didn't see Ziyech in top 3 Ballon d'Or, top 5 Ballon d'Or.
I said before moving to Liverpool.
Before moving to Liverpool.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's played better than Salah has ever played in his career before moving to Liverpool. So he's now getting to the stage where the lights will shine on him, so that he can go on and supersede what Salah has already done. You understand? Exactly. He's now getting his chance. That's what I'm saying.
Now that's the beauty of, or that's what even makes it dangerous for Liverpool, for Liverpool transfers. We buy players who don't have so much name or so much statistics in their favor, and then we make them superstars. We buy players who are already superstars and we make them superstars. How is that possible? That's
He's saying that
that's the flawed argument.
Chelsea, affords them a better platform, to showcase
So
their talents.
in that state, it means Chelsea is a better team or it's a bigger team than Ajax.
Exactly. You know that.
Wow. I never knew.
Maybe more than this. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I never knew.
With their trophies and all from the past.
I never knew.
But let's go about modern terms at the moment.
I never knew that.
And the league, there's the English Premier League.
Yeah.
So you know this.
Yes.
You want to compare the league in the.
I think you're not making your points on the Champions
No,
League.
no.
Guys.
But I don't know. It is not even up for argument when I say that Chelsea is a bigger club than Ajax. It's not even something to laugh about.
I think
It's a very, very simple
thing.
thing. You understand?
Okay, quick submission time.
I mean, for a club that is just winning your first Premier League trophy and to be this arrogant and be laughing about Chelsea being bigger than Ajax is something. It's really crazy.
Arrogance comes with accomplishment. If you have accomplished, you have the right to be arrogant.
One Premier League in like what? How many years?
It's an accomplishment.
The last time you won, you were even having glasses like this.
I think
the last time you won, the president of this country,
the
I'm sure the president of this country is dead. Like the last time
last time we won the
league.
league was just 2 months ago, or like not even a month ago. Check the stats. Just
Guys,
check right
okay,
now. Okay, let me just make a quick submission on the Champions League. I think my most painful night, but day
Athletic nights, right?
this year
Yes.
has been the Athletic night.
Alright, so
Up to now, I can't watch highlights. Up to now, I don't want to hear about the scoreline, and all because of a certain Adrian doing Adrian things. If you had our top class Alisson, whose records in the must-win match has been tested and proven, even from Roma to Liverpool, trust me, it would have been an easy win for Liverpool on that night. But then, unfortunately, things didn't go our way.
yeah. Okay, so a quick one for me, guys. 3 seconds. So next season, if you were to predict, where your club will finish next season in the EPL, which one were you going to go for? As a position?
Realistically, I think Chelsea should finish second.
Alright.
But Chelsea can win the league. It would take something very special. They'll have to work really, 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 really hard. I think they should finish second at least. Yeah.
Right, so Drai,
I see competition between City, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and I'm thinking Liverpool should want to build a certain pride and certain dynasty, so they should win the league. But Chelsea is also a very keen contender to win the league.
Right,
City's
so for United, we don't have much to talk about
United
at the moment.
United will be at some around.
So guys, thank you for being with us on this session. Hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and let us know what you want us to produce more from you guys. So
Let me
peace out, and as you guys enjoy the show as well. So, all right, awesome.
Go.
Awesome.